When Ford decided to make a street-legal version of their 60s GT40 race car, the result was a 2005 Ford GT. It was designed for pure performance from the ground up. This car had a 550 horsepower mid-mounted engine, aluminum frame, disc brakes the size of trash can lids, and could go 0 to 60 in like 3.5 seconds. But that's on a good day, and this car, it's not having a good day. So you're at what? How much you want for this?
155.
I can't do that. I don't think I can fix it. How about 130?
How about 150?
You're not moving very much. Am I supposed to go down now? So Andy's asking 155 grand for the car as it sits. 155 plus the labor plus the parts. I don't think I can make any money there, so I gotta get him down on the cash.
Let me negotiate.
Why don't you just not make me pay you a paycheck and then I won't have labor rate? How about 140 grand? That's what I got. I can't go past it.
Deal.
I just spent 140 grand. Well, we own it now. Excellent, man. Cool.
Thank you.
Man, you wrecked it before you got it back?
But seriously, here's the funny part. I got a $140,000 smashed GT.
So what do we get to do to make it cool?
You know what makes it cool? Put it back together, paint the front fascia and a new windshield, and off we go. It makes 100 G's.
Well, if that's all you want to do. There's a body shop down the way if we're just in the collision repair business.
Come on. So here's the plan. We're gonna take the Ford GT to the next level.
You know, the power plant already makes a respectable 550 horse, but we're gonna try and dial it up a little closer to 1,000. And people seem to think that you can't get sports car performance on air ride, but I'm about to prove them wrong. I'm gonna take the coilovers off and replace it with airbags so we can get this GT even closer to the pavement.
Hopefully all the damage that we see is all the damage that we have, because I'm setting a budget of 60 G's for this thing in 3 weeks, and I'm hoping to sell it for a profit of 100 grand.
You're gonna let me get rid of those white stripes, right?
60 grand, 3 weeks.
I love this car. I mean, it is exciting to work on it because building hot rods, you don't think you're ever gonna work on one of these, you know. So yesterday, Richard pulled the trigger on an 05 Ford GT supercar with a wrecked front end. And rather than just fix it and flip it like a body shop full of misfits, we're actually gonna make the car a lot cooler. First, I'm gonna take the coilovers off. We're gonna be replacing them with shockwaves from Ride Tech. We commonly refer to them as airbags because it's a shock surrounded by an airbag instead of a spring. I have to take a lot of measurements before the car gets blown apart because these aren't shockwaves that exist. They're not ones that are on the shelf. They're being built for our GT, so it's imperative that I get all the measurements from compressed to extended so that they can build the shockwaves correct for the car.
All right, let's get the rest of her apart.
Good God.
I know where half the weight of this car is. See how crooked you got it on here. Oh, wait.
What? This is why I have a belly. Want a man's hammer?
Yes, yes, I do.
Our rebuilt front end will actually consist of an amalgam of new and old parts. For instance, our passenger side front fender was virtually undamaged, while the driver's front fender, well, it wasn't so lucky. At least the car is starting to look like a car again. What do you think?
Better not yet.
Hey.
We're still loose.
That's a bad thing.
It looks like whatever smushed the front end and caused all the cracks in the frame also knocked it out of whack in some place.
Now we just got to blow it apart and then figure out how to straighten this frame and then weld the cracks up to boot.
Guess the party's over for now.
All right, so.
Not so good.
Oh, we got a little bit of gap there.
That'll explain why everything's kicked this way.
That's the root of the problem.
It's got to be pulled over.
Do we find the major disaster?
Yeah, and it's bad.
So now that we've got the GT blown apart again, I've asked Jeremy if he can locate the exact spot where the frame goes out of square. And it didn't take him long to find that out.
Looks like it's about 4 millimeters off.
Yep, I can see what you're talking about.
It can be fixed.
All right, just make it happen.
No problem.
Too long? No. Too short? Too long?
Loosen it.
Go slow, because Tell me when it grabs.
Who knows what'll happen?
Here, will you hold of it?
Yeah.
It won't fall?
Oh my gosh, it's moving.
It moves easy?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't push it all.
No, you can see it moving a lot. Should we see if it's square?
Right there.
There.
Would it do anything?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think we're looking pretty good. I don't see much of a gap anymore.
It actually was a lot easier for us to get it squared up than we anticipated. Now the only thing left to do is for Aaron to weld it up. All right, well, I got you zeroed here. We're zeroed on the car. So,
Let's do it.
all right.
All right, well, sounds like a plan.
It's a pain in the rear. Is it the end of the world? No, it just sucks.
I think I welded 7.5 hours or something, which sounds like a lot. A lot of it was in really, really difficult places to weld. But all that's done.
Okie dokie.
Now we're about to find out if we got it right. The proof in the pudding is how well the subframe slides onto the freshly welded brackets. And incredibly, it just slipped right on.
How's it going in there, Charles?
Dash is in here. Look at. All I want to do is get the cluster out.
Whatever you do, don't lose that when you get it out.
Everything we bag and save is something we don't have to purchase again.
They didn't make a ton of these cars, so replacement parts are muy expensive. Not to mention, very difficult to acquire fast enough to make our deadline.
Wow. Holy man. I didn't expect that we were gonna tear this car this far apart. What are we doing with all this on the floor? Because this is chaos right here.
Well, this is kind of our assembly layout. Everything's bagged and tagged.
Are we just gonna leave it here? I mean, I don't think packing it up and putting it on the shelf like we do on these other cars is very smart. That's a lot of margin of error for losing stuff that you can't go down to O'Reilly's and get.
We got this, totally. Don't worry.
If you've watched our show long enough, you already know that black is one of the hardest colors to paint a car. Any flaws or imperfections are almost impossible to hide. I'm probably gonna spend 3 days on painting the body alone. And Aaron wants me to paint the frame as well. I gotta squeeze all that into, no pressure.
Yes, all this stuff we took out of the dash. Yeah.
Tricky to do the final assembly. The car's this big, and there's so many parts in there. This is a supercar. It's capable of being driven 200 miles an hour or more. There's no room for error. Every nut and bolt on this thing has to be right.
Every part on this car is more expensive. So if we lose something or if we misplace something or something gets mislabeled, we have to go and reorder and spend a lot more money. And we all know that Richard doesn't like that.
I'm looking for, there's some short, like 8mm bolts for the computer, for the airbag computer.
Without them, we won't be able to complete the work on the dash.
And so begins looking for parts.
Richard told us to keep an eye on all the parts. Even the bolts are worth hundreds of dollars. Nope, that's not them. I remember taking them out. And I thought I put them in that one bin. I remember taking them out, but I don't know if we're missing a bin. I'm dead meat. I think we really lost these things.
Is that the ones you want?
Maybe.
Hey, well, that's okay. It's just an hour out of our day that we'll never get back.
Trying to be gentle.
Step on it, guys. I was hoping to get out of here early today.
All right, we've got everything. Power steering.
Cool.
Ready?
Yeah.
You got it. Good. Let it idle. It's growling like the big cat we all know it is.
It's not that loud.
It's got no load on it. The car's idling on its own, which is really, really nice. Especially changing the cams, bigger blower, modified fuel system. So we're really, really happy. So right now, we're basically just gonna let it run, let it warm up, see if the fans come on. If everything is working correctly, we need to kick it in overdrive, get this thing done, get the car put together so we can hit the dyno. If I had more hands, I'd give you more thumbs up. I only got 2.
You want to settle it the usual way?
You got the thumb for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war.
Woo! I think my thumb's just actually longer than yours. So here you go, our 2005 Ford GT done Gas Monkey style, the GM GT.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
What better way to show off our Ford GT at first than to bring it to the best track in America, the Circuit of Americas down in Austin, Texas, home of the champions. This is the F1 track, the only one in America, and this is the first car that we've built that we feel really deserves to be on a hardcore, real deal racetrack.
It's always been a big goal of mine to get here, to drive here. So I couldn't be more excited to put our super duper car on this super track.
Now, that wasn't the original idea when I got started. Basically, I found a 2005 Rex Ford GT, whole front end smashed off. I figured we'd fix it, paint it back red, and sell it and make 20, 40% on our money. But in typical Aaron style, he talked me out of it, and I'm glad he did, because this is one badass Ford GT.
They were called a GT40 because of the 40-inch roof height. Well, we bested them. This one's a GT38. And we were able to get that low roof line with our air ride technology shockwaves. I don't mean to set off the shelf. We actually checked the spring rates on the factory coilovers and the valving on the shocks so that we actually had a setup that was complementary to the speed this thing's capable of. We put a 4-liter Whipple blower on top of it, put in bigger cams and Borla exhaust, so we definitely made more power to the tune of about 800 horsepower. I thought the factory wheels were a little small and they wouldn't contain the front brakes, so we called HRE and had them whip up a set of 20 and 21s out back with some big Pirelli rubber on them.
Now, where I got lucky, these cars have shot up in value. So I think I might just hold on to this one for a little bit. Auction season's coming up. The prices are going up, quite drastically. As a matter of fact, one just sold for over 500 grand. I feel like this car's easily worth 350 to 400, and we're in it for about 200 grand. So let's show the car off a little bit, and then let's see what happens, because I might be able to make a hell of a lot of profit on this car.